G'day guys, this is the third attempt I'm making at this video. So the first video was 20 minutes long, the second one was 6 minutes long and I ran out of memory. So I've emptied my trash. And let's talk about the final leg on this BMW. Yesterday at 4 p.m, oh sorry guys, this previous video is about the catalyst being blocked and stuff. So last night at 4 p.m, this car went up for 6 glow plugs. Okay, and to fit the differential pressure sensor, that was all right, but I just changed it for good measure. Let's make sure the hose is on for good measure. Replaced 6 glow plugs, connected everything back right, and had no compression. So you turn the key and it goes, it's like a blue screen of death for mechanics, right? Strikes fear and absolute terror into our heart. Did I drop a bolt in the intake manifold? No. Did I use upper cylinder solvents? Not one mist of spray went into this engine because I scraped everything out manually, sucked it out, and because it's had a swell flap delete, the swell flap delete here, as you have 12 ports in the intake manifold, I went onto my transmission stand up the back and basically, because it rotates, turned the manifold upside down, scraped a bit of stuff out and blew it all out because it was just trashing my shop, right? I was starting to do it here and there was little bits of black soot going everywhere. I did not spray anything into the Peerberg throttle plate. Now this throttle plate prevents diesel runaway. It has a DPF regen function. They work to restrict air and increase EGR flow for DPF regeneration, and irrelevant. I didn't spray anything into it. But what I did do was check the glow plugs individually before I changed them to make sure the module under the manifold's not faulty. So now I go to start this car at 7:30 p.m. or whatever it was, and the car has no compression. I then become fixated with a throttle adaptation. Let's cut a long story short. Putting a professional power supply on the battery, which was fine, gave me the confidence to crank the car for 30 seconds or more and build compression. Now, in the earlier video, which was the best one, which is now gone forever, you could see that even after 3 starts, the car was struggling and building compression. I do not know what happened to this car, guys. I do not have functionality or realize that there is no real adaptation for this throttle body. I don't think there is. All I can say is by turning the ignition on a BMW, and this includes F30 Petrol 1 Series, with this connector disconnected, can cause you a lot of trouble. Am I certain about it? No, but this is the logic behind like the steps of elimination. Nothing was pinched under the manifold, nothing fell in, and most importantly, I didn't spray anything in. Most importantly, the battery's fine. And even more importantly, the ambient temperature in here right now is around 25 degrees. The coolant temperature was at 27 degrees when I entered the workshop at 3:30 this morning. So let's start the vehicle now. Previous starts have been shaky and I did not reset mean adaptation quantity, injection quantity, not yet. Okay, it was all gonna happen and I didn't need to do it. The only functionality you have is an airflow meter reset and a couple of other adaptations, nothing to do with the throttle plate. Let's start the BMW M57 3-litre diesel with new engine oil and all that. Cleared cat, cleared DPF, 6 new glow plugs. So previous starts did not have that. They were all horrible. So what's the point of this video? Guys, I was ready to call my supporting workshops around me. We all work together to help each other. I have heard of BMW diesels not starting after injectors have been done and that. Guys, I didn't do injectors, I did glow plugs. I didn't spray anything into the engine, nothing went into the engine. Not one drop of cylinder cleaner went in this engine. So what happened to this car? And then, and as it built compression, something happened with the adaptation of the DDE with this disconnected, and I do not have the balls right now to do it. So previously, all these videos I made, usually things are back checked before I, say stuff on the internet. There is so much bullshit on the internet, guys. It's a matter of finding the right info. It's out there, but good luck. So I became fixated with this. There's very little about it, which already tells you that there shouldn't be an adaptation. But what I'd normally do now is disconnect this for 2 hours to replicate and turn the ignition on 15 minutes and turn it off. Now, I had a power supply on this car when I was testing the glow plugs. The battery was not down, right? Even with a professional $700 power pack, this car took 30 to 40 seconds to start. And as a mechanic, you'd know, guys, if you're out there listening, you don't want to be doing that to a starter motor. When there's no compression, it's fine. The starter's going, yeah, it's fine. But when it's, right, it's no good to do that. You will burn your starter out. You'll overheat the wiring. So what happened on this car? I don't know. But if you're going to test your glow plugs, take the throttle body off and leave it connected. Once the manifold's off, take it off, reconnect it, and then test your glow plugs. I believe this did something to the car. I didn't have injection. I've tried leaving the key on for 30 seconds and 5 minutes and disconnecting. I tried everything, guys. I spent about an hour and a half online, including at 9 p.m. and at 3 a.m. and while I was having a dinner late. Okay, so I don't know what happened to this car, but the main point is there was no cylinder cleaners put into the engine. I've seen this hundreds, if not thousands of times. But in this case, suddenly this morning at about 3:40, I thought, right, diesel power supply, increase the power supply, which it was there, but keep on cranking. So somehow, without turning the engine or anything, I lost compression. Guys, this is enough for you to go nuts. It's enough for you to lose your reputation. It's enough for you to start ringing other workshops and towing the car into BMW, depending on your how much fortitude and resilience you got against this stuff. So this was a very simple thing, gone wrong. I'm telling you guys right now, with any diesel, and for those cold climates, goodness me, right? You'd have to have 2 of those 900 amp batteries, but go for the power supply. Realize there is no adaptation that I am aware of on this throttle plate on the M57. And this engine goes across many different chassis types. And yeah, good luck. Stick to the essentials. And when you know you haven't pinched a wiring loom and dropped bolts into the engine and sprayed endless shit into the engine to clean it, right? I never checked a fuse. Right? I'm not checking fuses, guys. I know it's not a fuse. The car was running at 4 p.m. At 7:15, the car had no compression. Go figure. Hope that helps. The original video was great because it actually had me cranking it. And then once the car started, I started rolling. So once I heard compression building, I started making the video knowing that I've solved it. And for 3 or 4 starts, this car was building compression. I believe it was the injector sequence or something like that. Anyway, got to put this thing back together, get ready for a big day at Metro. Hope that helps somewhere around the world, because this certainly, it took a lot out of me to work it out. Hope that helps.